Just as the Lord's love is without limit, his anger is boundless and mighty. My brothers, bring his wrath down upon the evils of this world.
Please forgive me.
Professor, there can be no escape.
We've lost contact with the security team. This doesn't bode well. I'm counting on you, Kogami.
Copy that.
I've got to pull out. Good luck down there.
You killed her?
She was shooting at me.
So you screwed up our mission.
I apologize, sir.
Too late for that. We'll have to go with Plan B.
Their backup's here.
Get our people off the ship. I'll buy as much time as I can.
I am giving you this command in keeping with the prophecies once made about you, so that by recalling them, you may fight the battle well.
Come in. What's the situation?
Not good. They got us.
Most people assume that under the Sybil system, a judiciary is not needed. I think it's a necessity.
Let's cut to the chase. What is it that you're worried about exactly?
I'm concerned about our place on the international stage. If Japan dismisses the rule of law,
Didn't we already prove our methods in Seoul? It's obvious to everyone that the Sybil system is poised to be the new standard for global order. In the near future, it will be the worldwide norm. We won't need laws. It's a non-issue.
Shouldn't you be weighing in on this debate, Mr. Shindo?
Let them discuss it. Have you noticed her hue? It's far clearer than yours is.
I see where you're coming from. What's the Ministry of Justice have to say?
Good question. The complete repeal of Japan's legal system and dissolution of our ministry would be... well, I suppose it sounds rather excessive to me.
You'd prefer we were still a nation of laws? Sybil made that ideology obsolete, right?
With all due respect, should that decision be made in this room? We can't ignore what our citizens want.
You're talking about the people who've already accepted our system. Ma'am, are you really so critical of the Ministry of Welfare?
No, I'm not. I'm critical of Japan's predatory economy. We're exploiting our neighbors in order to enrich our own country. Is that who we are?
You're being ridiculous. Our weapons distribution programs have greatly contributed to global stability.
Perhaps we should all stop and take a deep breath. This is the type of fruitless chaos that was prevalent before Sybil went online. For what it's worth, I believe a Japan-first way of thinking is risky. I suppose in that sense, I happen to be in agreement with Miss Tsunemori, as I imagine the rest of you are. This meeting is incomplete. We were supposed to have a guest to clarify Japan's standing in the modern world, but they're not here.
Where is this missing guest of yours?
I'm told there were some travel disruptions.
I beg your pardon.
The Coast Guard found a foreign cargo ship called the Grotzlong. Not many details yet, but something bad went down. Multiple fatalities have been reported. No survivors, though. There are signs of a shootout on board.
They had guns?
Get back here quick. This is not the time for you to be playing politician.
I see. Contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Right, we'll be in touch.
I'm heading out right now.
I went ahead and adjourned the meeting.
My apologies, sir.
It must be an urgent case.
Yes. There's trouble with a foreign ship.
I wonder, would it be the Grotzlong?
How did you know that?
Our missing guest was a passenger on board. Her name's Professor Milshia Stronskaya. She's a global authority on behavioral economics and statistics. Her work is very important. She just completed a model for a fascinating simulation.
Oh, that's interesting.
The research is collectively known as the Stronskaya Papers. In theory, her models predict what effects the Sybil system would have on the rest of the world. In fact, Seiyun ended up confirming their accuracy. I understand how you must feel.
You know this, Professor?
From back when I was in the Immigration Bureau. I wish I could have introduced the two of you.
As I understand it, Mr. Shindo, you were personally responsible for our borders opening up. And as a part of your push, you supported the legal system.
So much work. My opponents were absurd. Some seriously suggested we should kill all refugees. Do you know why open borders and a legal system go hand in hand? As a pair?
Because most immigrants have lived through conflicts. That makes them difficult subjects for Sybil to sort, and unless we follow international law, we can't give them a home.
Exactly right. The world is moving on, but not Japan. I worry that we're falling behind.
So how did you do it? What did it take to get them to support immigration?
First, I had to take extra care that I didn't piss everybody off, unlike you.
I see.
You've been stuck as an inspector for too long, you know. You need to aim higher. I have big expectations for you, Miss Tsunemori.
You do? Wow, thanks.
It shouldn't be too surprising. You choose to criticize the Sybil system, and yet your own hue is crystal clear.
I'll admit, there is real value to the system. It's just, I believe in something bigger, that's all.
Of course. I'm glad.
The two of you are standing on Japanese soil, meaning the Public Safety Bureau has jurisdiction. So get your ass out of here, Foreign Affairs!
Calm down. I was hoping to keep things amicable between us.
Well, I don't care! Just leave!
Miss Hanashiro.
It's good to see you again.
Pleased to meet you. Director Yabuki, Foreign Affairs Overseas Coordination Bureau. I can't get into particulars, but this ship was carrying something of crucial value to us. We need to take point on this case.
Overseas coordination?
I'm at the scene. Everybody's here.
Chief Kase?
Inspector, allow MOFA to take charge of the crime scene. Tell your people to take a back seat. I'll have details for you when you return to the office.
So, did you find the package?
We did, but we're having trouble with the handoff.
Unless we have a lifeline, it's not wise for us to get in too deep.
We're short on time. The ball's rolling. There's no way to stop it now.
They want us to keep our mouths shut and leave?
These new orders came straight from the chief. Why'd you bring that bigwig director along with you anyway?
A passenger on the ship was supposed to be Director Shindo's guest. A woman named Professor Milsha Stronskaya.
From what we saw, it looked like there were multiple corpses on board who all appeared to be combatants. The bodies were in pretty bad shape. That's about all we know.
I can confirm that there was one woman among the deceased. She must have been the professor. It could take a while to get a positive identification, though.
Why's that?
Someone decapitated her after she was dead. It was just her body in the room.
Her head's gone?
I copied the data off the computer in the professor's room. It's being analyzed as we speak.
Inspector, here. I found this. Got a hit on its registration. This gun belongs to Foreign Affairs, Overseas Coordination Bureau.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs was protecting her.
These idiots went ahead and assigned a bunch of armed agents without telling us. Well, great job. Hanashiro and this Yabuki guy must think they're so slick. You smell that? Something's rotten here.
You know, I'd be careful about what you say while still on the scene. Quite a fancy hearing aid he's got on, wouldn't you agree?
You already knew the professor was dead before we showed up here.
That's correct. Yabuki told me.
You invited the professor secretly, in cooperation with Foreign Affairs. Why do that?
If I explained it to you, who would ever trust me with clandestine information again?
Ma'am, we completed our analysis of the recovered data. It looks like on the day of the attack, the professor only sent out a single message.
To someone in Japan?
That's right. To Professor Joji Saiga.
Saiga.
Well, you don't often call out of the blue.
It's business. I have to ask you something.
I'm all ears. What have you got?
Joji, just how long has it been now?
Why are you with her?
Don't be so cold. That's your way of saying hello?
Yes, it's been a while, sir.
How is isolation treating you?
I won't complain. You need my help.
It pertains to the late Professor Stronskaya.
I see. What a terrible loss.
Mind if we discuss this face to face?
A bit, yes. I'd rather sit down with Inspector Tsunamori, alone.
Sure, have it your way.
Let's start with how you knew the professor.
Shindo himself introduced us back in the day. There was a time when I contributed to her research. I offered my own analysis of domestic data. When we were together, we'd have the most splendid debates. Well, we fought a fair amount online, too.
You were the last person she contacted before she was murdered.
She wanted to hand over the results from her latest research project.
You mean the Stronskaya papers?
I see you've been briefed.
She sent them to you?
This whole situation would be far simpler if she had. Instead, what she gave me was a mailing address. It's a P.O. box located in Dejima. As far as I can tell, the only way to retrieve whatever's inside is for me to go there in person.
Would you mind if I accompanied you?
Now, how could I turn that down? You've been busy. I hear you're moving up in the world. How does the ascent feel?
Honestly, like my head's gonna explode.
Some people find comfort in stagnation and subconsciously cling to it, stalling any further advancements. Take me, for example.
You're being too hard on yourself.
I have to ask you, how did Shindo get involved in this messy ordeal?
He's the person who invited Professor Stronskaya to Japan. Does something about that bother you?
Shindo was my upperclassman at university. Later, he arranged for my position as a consultant at the Public Safety Bureau. I always felt as if he was using me in one way or another.
Are you concerned he could be using me as well?
He might be planning to risk your neck instead of his own.
I just want to confirm that the papers are actually there.
Sounds simple, but who knows what they might shine a light on. Perhaps plots that the government or even Sybil have put into motion.
What are you suggesting?
Nothing specific, but the papers will reveal what Japan's done here and abroad. That's dangerous intel. Which is why I only wanted to talk to you.
I've spoken with the Overseas Coordination Bureau. Public Safety and the Suppressing Action Department will be working together.
We will have command authority, however.
I'm fine with that as long as we're sharing our information. What have we found so far? Any idea who was behind the attack?
Oh, yes. The Overseas Investigation Division's field survey team, known as the Peacebreakers for short. They were a covert team running subversive ops overseas for the Hawks at the Foreign Ministry. 5 years ago, the unit was dissolved. Afterward, not a single member returned to the country. They've been labeled as missing, but we think they're still active in the field.
Hunting dogs who turned against their masters.
Since they're currently hiding in Japan, this will be our best chance to put them down for good.
The SAD has been actively recruiting to ensure we're successful.
Who'd you bring on?
If a trained dog lashes out and breaks his chain, he can never again find a home in public safety. But if a group of bloodthirsty wolves adopts him, he'll blend right into the pack. Use him well.
You bastard. I thought I told you to never show your face here again!
Yeah, but this is a special case. Couldn't help it.
Screw you!
Calm down, man. People are watching.
I heard that shouting. What has gotten into you guys? Shinya Kogami.
It's been quite a while, Inspector.
I take it we can skip the introductions.
What do we know about their leader?
The commander's a man named Tonami.
I wasn't asking you.
Fine, I'll go. Tsugumasa Tonami. After his suitability exam, he joined the Defense Forces at age 18. A long-serving member of the Naval Special Forces. Nothing to note during that time, just your standard serious soldier. His commanding officer recommended him to the Peacebreakers. And that's where his trail goes cold.
So, he became a ghost.
Yes, well, almost. We have plenty of documentation that shows what he was up to.
This is madness.
If that's the case, I'll profile the guy. Could prove to be helpful. I'll do it for Stronskaya.
So this is Dejima, the Foreign Ministry's Special Administrative Sector.
It's mostly foreigners who haven't passed the immigration exam, which makes it a terrible match for public safety.
As I'm sure you've guessed, you'll be acting with limited authority while in Dejima, though you'll be happy to hear Dominator usage has been improved.
That's something at least.
So, first impressions?
After he goes missing, he changes. He's a different person altogether. The two of you happen to cross paths by chance?
No.
Any bit of information would be useful. Could help to better flesh out his ideology and shed further light on this group of his.
I don't know if this means anything or not, but during the battle I did hear something odd quoted. Since then, I've been trying to figure out what it means.
You remember it?
I'm giving you this command in keeping with the prophecies once made about you, so that by recalling them, you may fight the battle well.
The first epistle of Timothy.
Yeah. Chapter 1, verse 18. How's that for some light?
Not sure. Tonami wasn't a practicing Christian, was he?
Record doesn't say.
Are you familiar with the story of St. Paul?
Yeah, I think so. He persecuted Christians at first, but later experienced a personal miracle which led to his conversion.
It's quite possible that Tonami considers his position to be similar.
You strike me as an Apostle John type, given your hermit nature.
I should start writing about my revelations, maybe.
Seriously, though. I can't believe you're working with the Public Safety Bureau.
Yes, well. As I see it, I'm working with Akane Tsunemori. Kogami. Careful the path you choose for yourself.
What's that supposed to mean?
Tonami didn't start his career as a psychotic killer either. But people who are tools for violence could change for the worst.
Like me?
That's your decision. Just be mindful of which horse you choose to put all your money on. The girl is not a saint, nor is she a Buddha. Screw around too much and you'll be enforced. Don't forget that.
I didn't think I'd been screwing around. I'm just trying to do the most responsible thing.
But that might not satisfy everyone else. I'm just suggesting you apologize while you can. Take it from a wise old man. Yeah?
Mr. Kogami.
Evening.
What's the deal with the SAD?
Oh, well, we're boots on the ground for the foreign ministry with the goal
I know
of...
the official rundown.
Of course you do.
Did they let you back in Japan just so they could use you to fight violence with more violence? What's the whole story?
The foreign ministry wanted some enforcers of their own, so they offered me an invitation.
Would you have come back if I'd invited you instead?
Dunno. It's hard to say.
Granted, I lack the authority to do something like that. What about Director Yabuki? Did he have anything to say about your past crimes? He must have seen them in your files.
The issue never came up. He probably doesn't care. The Peacebreakers are his only concern right now.
So, are you going to keep working with Foreign Affairs?
Maybe. My goal is to do what needs to be done.
If you try to break the law again, I will stop you this time. I won't hesitate to step in.
Sure, because you have to do whatever it is you think is right. I don't regret anything I've done, not a thing.
I was hoping that idiot would give me an apology.
Don't let Kogami know about this. There'll be trouble if Saiga catches on.
I'm fairly certain he would understand this is the best option.
I would prefer to minimize risk.
If that's your orders, sir.
Do remember, nothing gets changed by idealism alone. We must be able to enact justice, even if some don't like our methods.
Couldn't bring yourself to apologize, could you?
I don't know what you mean.
The subject is on the scene.
Good. Everyone, ready for combat.
All right. We'll be standing guard down here in case there's trouble.
Stay alert.
Don't you find it odd that there's no one else around?
The Lunar New Year's around the corner. That must be why.
I don't buy it. You evacuated the civilians.
Inspector, I've got additional IFF codes. There are more SAD agents than expected. Something's not right.
You're using us to bait a trap, aren't you?
I apologize. But please trust that we'll guarantee your safety, Professor.
I'd say that's the least you could do at this point.
I thought we were supposed to be sharing information.
Don't get too upset by this. The papers are still our top priority.
You lied to us and put the professor in danger on Yabuki's orders.
A mirror?
One that serves as a warning. The papers aren't in here.
Explain.
My dearly departed colleague was being careful. Turns out I was a decoy from the beginning. Well, we don't have the papers in our possession, but I doubt they would believe us if we tried explaining that to them.
I'll escort you to the evacuation route.
Tsunemori, we'll stay back and deal with the attackers. That should give you enough time to get away.
You can count on us.
Be careful, you two.
The command is clearing the rest of the area. It's our duty to secure the target.
Roger.
Please don't!
Crime coefficient under 50. No enforcement action required. Trigger will remain locked.
Looks like they shot each other.
I can't make contact with my boss.
Get back now!
This route's too hot. We'll have to backtrack from here.
Okay.
Inspector, the Dominators have gone down, and we're facing heavy enemy fire.
Hear me?
I'll be fine. They barely nicked me.
He got tagged, but it doesn't look critical.
We'll be there as soon as we're able. Make sure that both of you are safe until then.
The papers, where are they?
I have no idea.
Freeze!
Give me what I want, or he's done for.
That was intense.
It was the optimal response.
You're not done. You still have a mission to complete.
Miss Tsunamori, both justice and truth have many sides. Some things you can't understand unless you're looking down from on high. You're capable of doing that.
So the papers aren't here either.
It was a trap. We've already secured target B. Withdraw now.
Copy that.
Go!
You're mine!
Let me handle this one.
You're dead.
It would not seem strange at all if an entire century passed in this moment, in a hushed silence. This mournful rain falls on and on unceasing.
things come to an end. Damn it!
What the hell are these guys?
Professor Saika.
No sign of Director Yabuki anywhere.
You knew there was a leak and that the enemy would attack. And yet this was the best you could do?
I won't bother with excuses.
Look, don't blame Frederica. It won't get you anywhere. We need to figure out why we failed.
What are you doing here, Director Shindo?
Given my position, it's my duty to help Foreign Affairs clean up this debacle. If things get worse, I'll need to go to the JDF and ask for additional assistance.
So Foreign Affairs and Defense. It seems like you're the one calling all the shots here.
Believe me, I'm not that important. Yabuki and I just work well together. Ever since the Peacebreakers were first created, we've been involved with the unit. We allowed a pack of trained animals to go feral on us. I need to take responsibility and make things right.
Is that how you justified using Professor Saiga?
I didn't want him to die. That was simply an unfortunate outcome.
It's important that anger doesn't cloud your judgment. I'm not saying you have to always be level-headed. Just for right now.
It was me. I made him a part of this.
Sounded to me like he wanted to be a part of it. Try to stay focused on your next steps. That's my advice. You can cry all you want to, whenever this case is over.
Right.
Roger that. We'll work on figuring out the enemy's comm system and how they were able to cloak it.
If they used a known system, we would have identified it by now. This must be something new that we haven't seen before.
One other thing. I need a background check.
Sure, who's the subject?
It's Director Shindo. See what you find.
I'm so sorry. I know the professor wanted nothing more than for you to live happy lives.
My mother knew something like this would happen one day. If it wasn't for my damn vision, then maybe I could have...
Rest assured, I promise to make Michael happy. I'll honor Ilsha's wishes.
I know you will. We'll lay her to rest once we have her remains. Meanwhile, there's the matter of Akira.
Please tell me that you heard from my brother.
I did. He might make it home in time for the ceremony.
That's great, Kay, right?
By the way, I meant to ask you, you're still coming, aren't you, Dad?
Oh, yes. I have to be there to make sure you don't ruin the wedding.
Oh, come on. Jeez.
Be more careful.
Sure. Will do, mister.
Come on, help me out.
Adata, take good care of them.
Obviously, you don't have to worry about that.
My brethren, you must not fear death. We are both the Lord's mighty sword and his shield. As mediators, it is our duty to use the glorious strength we've been gifted. Our master, the General, will speak to us now. Brothers, engrave his words upon your souls.
Praise be to my loyal soldiers. Cast off your fear and offer up your lives. Do this, and when the time comes, the Promised Land will welcome you. Bring true justice and order to the world, and know that I am always at your side.
We shall sacrifice our bodies to ensure your prophecy comes true. You sent one of your rats to infiltrate our numbers. That's how you knew we were coming. Tell the truth about your spy in the papers, or you're dead.
You mad fool! You're already doomed to fail!
Don't ever forget, you are the ones who made me this way. You're free to go now, Kai.
Yes, sir.
Kai, I need you to take over his questioning. I'm heading north.
To meet the General, the Promised Land.
Yes, he's only just arrived.
Alright, what was it? If an entire century passed in this moment. Tatsuji Miyoshi. It's a poem.
You want forensic results for a blade?
Yeah, the one I brought in earlier.
Sure, give me 1 second. Not a lot to tell you. Looks like the blood on it came from you. The tassel on the grip is horsehair.
Can you track down where the horse came from? For instance, Aso, Kyushu?
You want me to limit the search to that area?
Yes, please.
It's a pity what happened to the professor.
Yeah.
By the way, we got the autopsy report for the body Sugo brought in. The corpse that kept moving, even after it'd been shot multiple times. They found that he had some kind of special implant in his brain. His body was blown apart, so we won't have more details for a while.
Hey, what are your thoughts on possession?
Where'd that come from?
If someone or something had the correct tools on hand, scientifically, would it be possible to take control of a body?
Can we back up a minute? Are we talking angels and demons here?
More like a god.
Well, let's see. Really, you should consider how humans and animals differ. What's unique about our cognitive abilities? Venture a guess.
I can think of a few things. The concept of empathy, sense of humor, but I bet you're looking for objectivity.
Bingo. We can look at ourselves from the outside in. Think of it as a sort of God's eye view. Actually, there was a well-respected neuroscientist who described this concept as the divine element of the mind.
Splitting the brain between the divine and the base animal that lives inside us. Julian Jaynes' bicameral mind hypothesis.
He surmised that if the divine portion could function independently, you would be able to hear God speaking inside your head.
A mind that's divided into two parts. The voice of God, huh?
We've discovered that the enemy is stationed in Aso Kyushu. This has been confirmed by surveillance drones.
I see you've already asked the JDF for military assistance. However, the Peacebreakers' crime coefficients are going to be a problem.
We're assuming it's the special chips in their brains that have been allowing them to fabricate those low scores.
Dealing with them will require traditional criminal law.
I could argue that there are other ways. But instead, I suppose I'll allow this raid on the grounds of seizing illegal weapons.
Understood.
Here we go. The operation's underway.
Something's off.
I know.
Setup, maybe? Stay on your guard, Gino.
they shut down?
Freeze! Wait, don't shoot.
I'm with you. I'm an undercover agent with the Overseas Coordination Bureau. Tonami's already gone.
First, I need you to put him down.
Right, of course. You're gonna want to restrain me immediately. We don't need Tonami catching on.
Oh, it's you.
Everything's going to be all right.
I'd like to see him make his statement. You hang tight. I'll temporarily relieve you of your enforcer oversight. Investigate what happened here.
You got it. I'll let you know what we discover. Just be careful, okay?
Will do.
My real name is Akira Vasily Ignatov. On the orders of Director Yabuki, I infiltrated their ranks.
I was never informed about this move.
One other person knows. Atsushi Shindo, Director of the Ministry of Welfare.
The director knew as well?
He told me you were coming via coded communication.
So where's Tonami now? Does he have the papers in his possession?
I know he doesn't. Because I have them.
What? Where are they?
There's a chip in my head used for top-secret information. That's where I stored the professor's research for safekeeping.
You hid it inside your own brain?
Why are the papers so important to Tonami? They must be part of a much bigger plan.
They contain a theoretical model, one used to run intricate simulations. Basically, it forecasts ethnic divides and societal unrest, then quantifies them, creating a conflict coefficient. With that information on hand, you could stop a war before it starts, or escalate one that's already underway.
I'd say it's fairly obvious which approach Tonami plans to take.
I need to be isolated in an anechoic chamber until the data's been retrieved from the chip.
You're worried that he might possess you.
I am. That chip the papers are stored on isn't the only one I've got in me. There's the divider, too. It's how Tonami assumes control.
Kogami, I'm taking the boss to see the doctors. You get Agent Ignatov's official statement.
Okay, you got it.
Akira. I know this has been hard on you.
Director Shindo, we need to know what's going on.
Start by telling me what happened when Professor Stronskaya was killed.
It was me. I'm the one who shot her.
I all but abandoned my daughter, so I could complete the research for this project. I'm a failure as a mother. My solace is that I am protecting their futures.
I swear to you, I will deliver this data. There simply wasn't any other way.
Now, this divider.
It's a device that partitions your consciousness, that lets you see yourself as two separate entities. meaning you can hide any feelings of guilt in another version of you.
That explains how the enemy's walking around with a clear hue. And through this, Tonomi can control a portion of your mind?
Yes. It's science designed to resemble a religious phenomenon. Like you're giving control to God. But in actuality, Tonomi's at the wheel.
So how is it that some of our people were possessed?
They were hacked in too. They all had translation patches, standard issue for foreign affairs. Easy inroad to the brain. The range and duration are nothing like the divider.
That makes sense. And explains why no one from public safety was affected. What's the bottom line? You must have found out something important.
The location of their leader. The man they call the General.
Wait, who's this guy?
I don't know his real name. Never seen him either. I do know where he is, though. Finally.
Where?
Far to the north. The Kudial Islands.
Get down!
I'm impressed, Kai.
Tonomi.
Step outside of the chamber. If you don't, I'll kill this man.
Stay where you are. No! Don't do this!
Tell me why you sent him in undercover.
Tonomi wouldn't trust someone Japanese. Luckily, Akira personally volunteered to go. He even burned his face, which helped to ensure that his identity was kept a secret. That dedication's rare.
You know, I must admit, something's been bothering me about this from the beginning.
Do tell.
All right. If Stronskaya's trip was off the books, how'd they know to attack the ship?
There's a leak somewhere.
Here's my hypothesis. You and Director Yabuki were leaking information on purpose. That's how you lured Tonomi out. Tell me I'm wrong.
You have a very rich imagination.
I've been doing a deep dive into your career over the years, but nothing strikes me as being overtly strange. I can't shake this nagging feeling, though. You never make mistakes. Every call you've ever made was the right one, which explains why you're respected. It's almost as though you've been climbing a ladder that was built for you specifically. Tell me, sir, what exactly are you? Mr. Kogami, is something the matter?
It's Tonomi. He broke in and possessed Agent Ignatov. He's on the loose. And Director Yabuki is dead. You have to do something.
I should be able to track Akira for the time being.
Where is he now? Stop right there!
Shindo, is this another of your disposable pawns? It won't work.
Crime coefficient over 100. Enforcement action required.
The divider. It's overloading. His brain will burn out. Was this your plan? To die all along? Kai?
Target's threat judgment has been reappraised. Crime coefficient is 301. Lethal eliminator.
Kai,
Akira Ignatov! What a fool. What a waste. Go on, do it! Kill me. Please. Look after Kay. Don't let him end up like me. Swear it.
Don't you worry about him. I promise he'll be happy. It's been raining so long, but that's about to end.
Director Shindo isn't going to be investigated for his part in this?
No. Chief Kase is going to speak with him one-on-one, though.
Well, there's that.
At least, your injuries didn't end up being too major.
I'm sorry. I worried you.
You and I are still a team here. And don't you dare forget it.
Heard loud and clear. So, what's next?
Currently, analyzing the data Agent Ignatov supplied us with. We'll move once we know more. Tonami is not going to get away again.
We've been watching you for quite a while now. You've grown even wilier as you've gotten older.
Sure, probably, but you're just the same.
You're going to be held responsible for what happened on your watch. Given Yabuki's unexplained death, someone needs to be found at fault.
As I'd expect. It was always my intention to take the blame.
Your methodology aside, thank you. We're grateful for what you've done.
I've got one question. Which side is the Sybil system going to fall on? Will it continue to have faith in human potential?
A ridiculous query. Do we not exist for that very purpose?
Well then, that's good to hear.
Rest assured that we will guarantee your son's safety, as well as that of his friends.
If the Sybil system says so, it will be done.
A parting gift.
So, you were going to give Stronskai's papers to public safety all along, weren't you?
That's right. I appreciate the ways you assisted me.
What a pity. I'm afraid your rights as Inspector are officially frozen.
Apologies for dragging you here.
It's fine.
You know, Akira's brother will be married tomorrow. I don't want them to know about his death. Not until after the ceremony is over.
Not a problem.
I'm grateful. Here's an idea. Why don't you join me at the wedding?
You're late, Dad. What kept you?
I'm sorry. Kay, Maiko, I'd like to congratulate you on your nuptials. Even though we all live under the Sybil system, or rather, because of it, this young couple will face some obstacles. There will be hardships down the line. I've told numerous lies over the course of my years. Most I could make excuses for, swearing that they were for the greater good. But I won't stand here today and say that I've had no regrets. I want you to keep that in mind. You mustn't repeat my mistakes. Live a life free from remorse. Follow your own paths. As time marches along, the correct choice can turn into the wrong one. Righteousness is a relative concept, but the truth, that's absolute. The truth is something we need more of. We must recognize it and make decisions that don't bring harm to anyone. I believe that path is the only one that leads to unadulterated happiness, which is what I hope your future holds.
Jeez, Dad, where the heck did you go?
That's everything. Get back here at once.
Wait, before you go...
I have no idea what's going on. There's so much that doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm going crazy.
I'm piecing things together. But I know everything your father did in life, he did for your sake. I truly believe that.
He did this for me? What's that mean? Make it make sense!
You'll have to figure it out for yourself. It's like he explained in his speech. All of us must search for the truth.
The chief put out a statement. Our joint investigation's officially over. What the hell happened?
I I'm not sure. I'll discuss the details with her once I get back to Tokyo.
The Peacebreakers are declaring this our own independent nation. Make no mistake, our intention is not to oppose Japan or the Sybil system either. If you don't trust what I'm saying, I encourage you to check my hue and crime coefficient as proof of my honesty.
The resulting color was as clear as spring water. The system has judged him to be a cooperative partner that we should do business with.
I have a hard time buying that you would believe his statements.
We had a discussion with the Supreme Leader, the General, as he's known to his followers. We found him a highly rational individual. According to him, he intends to support our ongoing international efforts. All he asks in exchange is that we accept and respect the sovereignty of the Kuril Islands.
You're saying it's out of the Public Safety Bureau's hands?
Not exactly. The Stronskaya papers need to be delivered. The sooner you can get them to him, the better.
Then what was the point of all our losses?
In addition, you're soon going to be named Atsushi Shindo's successor. I would advise you to accept.
You want me to leave the Public Safety Bureau?
It shouldn't come as a surprise, given you're already making moves outside their jurisdiction.
Mr. Kogami, I can't let them bury the case. We've made too many sacrifices.
It sounds like you've made up your mind.
I'm wondering if you'll help me out.
Like anyone could stop me. Yeah, I'm in. Knowing you, I'm guessing you already have a plan?
If we're dealing with who I think we are here, there is a way we can win this.
Good enough for me. You heard what she had to say. What are you going to do?
You seriously have to ask. I'm doing what our boss failed to do, no matter what it takes.
Suguma Satonomi and the Peacebreakers will be dealt with in accordance with criminal law. We'll observe our department's operational standards during the arrests. Given those parameters, Dominators will be our only weapons.
With the kind of heat they're packing? Have you gone insane?
Please. This is imperative. We're going to complete the mission as detectives from the Public Safety Bureau. If we can't prove the law's legitimacy, what's the point? I'm not forcing anyone to go.
Kogami and I will be there too, working right alongside Inspector Tsunemori.
You know we're all coming with you. There are no cowards here.
I can get transportation to the enemy base. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have something in mind already.
If everyone runs into this guns blazing, they're gonna slaughter you. You'll need solid logistical support. That's me and Kunizuka. Plus Hinakawa. And analyst Karanamori. You can consider us your backup.
Appreciated.
Don't go getting the wrong idea here. If you guys end up dying on the islands, I'll tell everyone that you forced me to help, because I'm not going down with you.
The core of the Peacebreakers communications hub is mobile, so its location's never the same. That's why it's been so difficult for us to track down.
It moves around?
Exactly. They're using a high-altitude atmospheric satellite network.
A flying core drifting through the stratosphere.
That's right. A brilliant design in terms of stealth. Active or not, it never slows and never stops. With this hub, they can make use of high-capacity comms no matter where they are in the world.
My plan is to hack the system and take control of it, cutting them off.
Wouldn't shooting it down be easier? Then the dividers would fail.
No, the Kuril Islands have a terrible network connection. Our Dominators could be rendered useless. Hijacking this floating hub will make things easier for us.
That's our plan's linchpin. We'll be counting on you.
This is a prototype Dominator I've had R&D working on. It's a beauty, don't you think? Should be a major help for you out there.
Thank you.
Don't forget, it's super expensive, so you better bring it back in one piece.
I had the two of you registered as users for these.
Appreciated.
I get why this is the plan. But don't do anything too risky, at least not till we get there. As our decoy, you'll be the one who's in the most danger.
I can't make any promises.
Hey.
Be fast. Then you won't have to worry about me.
You going to be okay on that leg?
Oh yeah. I'm kinda used to being shot.
You know, I keep on thinking. It's all our fault that Tsunemori is married to this job. Which makes us responsible for her. That's probably just my ego talking, but still. It's why I've decided I have to protect her. To keep her from becoming a latent criminal. I'm considering it my penance.
I feel the same.
Then let me ask you one more time. What's the real reason you came back to Japan?
Not for a death wish. And not for revenge or some sort of obligation either. I just want to help people, and this seems like the best way for me to do that. That I can think of anyway.
Not the greatest reasoning, but better than I would have thought.
Target destination in 17 minutes.
Roger that. Keep your eyes on the radar as we're making our approach.
I'm sorry for imposing.
Don't worry about it. I'm glad I finally get the chance to pay you back. Also, the crew thinks this is top secret training.
Sir Toby, you're the best.
Thing is, my bosses were prepped for this by Director Shindo, from the Ministry of Welfare.
Scan now. Heads up, Team Hound. Transmitting data.
I've got eyes on their positions. We'll head that way immediately.
Copy that. Looks like Phase 2 is in motion. Good luck to you all.
Tsunemori should be arriving soon. Let's go.
combat coefficient is below the critical threshold. There is currently no chance of conflict.
Akane Tsunomori. So the Sybil system sent you as its envoy. Fine. I'll take the papers now. Where are they?
I've stored them up here for safekeeping.
You put Kai's memory device in your head? We could have done this the easy way.
I wouldn't do anything rash if I were you. The data can be erased at any time.
So what are you asking for?
I want to talk to the General myself.
We can't narrow down the location of the airship any further.
The second they start using dividers, we're golden. We can pinpoint its location.
Guess all we can do for now is wait to hear from Akane. Hinakawa, are you ready?
Everything's set. I can transmit the program through Mr. Sugo's drone, but I'll have to bypass security to upload it. That'll take time.
And nothing better go wrong.
We need to thin out their numbers before they notice us. Let's keep moving.
Wish we could use these things. It'd go a lot faster.
Just gotta leave that up to the others.
Declaring your independence in the middle of literal ruins. Quite the choice.
To your eyes, maybe. You're looking at an automated industrial city run by a computer system. I caught a glimpse of the future here, an evolution. Sadly, global conflicts and devastation halted progress in its tracks.
You're talking about conflicts you contributed to. So this is the General. It's an AI like the Sybil system, as I expected.
Did you now?
When I thought about who could be a receptacle for guilt and malice, who could also make peace with Sybil, I knew it couldn't be human. Professor Saiga helped me figure out what was behind this.
It was developed to be a medical AI, something to help assist with psychohazards, a supplementary system for Sybil. But when its true potential was realized, it became the General. He helps his loyal soldiers fight until the moment we die.
Why are you loyal to this program?
Because he's right. Those in charge are the ones who are holding this world back.
I'll expose the crimes of those who founded the Peacebreakers. But those crimes don't excuse everything you've done on your own.
That sounds like a threat.
You're under arrest. Sugumasa Tonami.
Crime coefficient is 48. No enforcement action required.
Oh dear. It looks as though your god has ruled in my favor.
Akane just used her Dominator. Dividers are activating too.
We've got locations for Tonami and the comm system.
Coordinates confirmed. I'm on my way.
Yes!
There are still quite a few hostiles around. I advise extreme caution.
We'll handle them.
Communications hub in sight. On the approach to make contact.
Copy that. I can start the hack on my end then. You need to stay within range until I'm finished. You're nearing the edge of the effective
more resistance than I expected. Hurry it up!
You don't actually have that memory implant in your head. Give me the Stronskaya papers. I need them in order to make the system complete. I tried to use the professor's brain as a substitute, but it wasn't enough.
Why are you doing this?
Why was Sybil created? Because the world was in total disorder. And how did that happen? Wealth disparity had grown too widespread, too severe. Major problems that can only be corrected through unassailable strength.
Are you insane? Nobody wants extremism.
The fact is, they do. It's the guiding force lurking in the shadow of the peace you lovingly embrace. Whenever a human rules over another human, there will always be those murdered unjustly. If mankind is to flourish, our rulers must wield unbiased judgment. And only an AI can provide that. A system that no person can defile or tamper with.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not. Humanity will follow the will of their god. He'll guide the way.
Unauthorized access to communication system Raphael detected. Localized combat coefficient is rising. Immediate response necessary.
I see you've been telling even more lies. We've got vermin. Kill them. I'll be there soon.
Roger that.
I won't let you...
This is the end, young lady. I can handle you using my own body.
We're not getting past them like this!
Dominators will be online soon! Hold tight for now!
This time you die. This is hopeless.
There. I've taken control!
Shion!
Yeah, I'm on it. Time to fight back.
Where's she off to?
Took a while, but we shut down the dividers. Dominators are live.
Roger that.
Dominator now online. User authentication. Shin Kogami. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Suppressing Action Department. Temporary authorization confirmed. Multiple crime coefficients over 100 detected. Trigger safety released. Aim calmly and subdue the target. Enforcement mode is Destroy Decomposer. Destroying all targeted weapons in the vicinity. Please take caution. An error has occurred. Now shutting down.
We can take over from here. Get to Tsunomori! Here!
Hurry, go!
Thanks.
For our son.
You die!
That's weird. The comm system is still flying on its automated route.
It's locked. We can't adjust its course from here.
I know why. It's got a safety protocol that's pre-programmed to self-destruct in the event it gets hacked. I can't stop it.
Not good. It's headed straight for their base.
Okay, Mika, what now?
You want me to help someone who went against orders?
Yes, ma'am. For our team. No, for the Sybil system. Akane Tsunomori is too valuable an asset to let die.
The main systems are still functional. What do you think you're doing?
I'm going to give your god the Stratskaya papers. This is the real ending.
What?
If your leader, the General, is an AI designed to stop conflict, then that's great. I know what decision he'll make.
Stop being stupid, girl! After everything I've told you, do you still think it's a good idea to stand in the way of progress?
As a detective, it is my duty to execute the law!
Her work was hidden in your Dominator?
Praise be to my loyal soldiers. I will now be as one with the Promised Land, the sacred Sybil system. Together, we may bring true justice and order to the world. Know that I am always at your side.
A malfunction in the medical AI has been corrected. It is now updated to operate as a part of the Sybil system. Extraneous terminals will be shut down immediately.
Great General, is this your answer? Your will? I always wanted the two of them to unite. This just happened sooner than I'd anticipated. Mankind created an all-powerful god and named it Sybil. But it is also man who now attempts to kill that god. Heretic! You will be the one who brings about the downfall of society!
Don't freak out. I got it covered.
Copy that. Consider the order executed. New command, enter combat posture. Prepare the anti-ship missiles to fire! Now!
Do it. What's stopping you?
You should suffer.
Put the gun down.
Sugama Satonomi, give up. The law will judge you now.
How do you not understand? This anachronistic law you cling to is dysfunctional. Sybil is trying to free people from their own failures of judgment. Sybil and the General are infallible. They put people like me to use. We create righteousness. Kill me if you want. You won't stop the movement that began in these walls.
You're wrong. Sybil is not absolute. The people have a will, and the system has to coexist with it. Otherwise, why go on? Our lives would lose all sense of meaning. That's why the law is important. It's the missing piece.
Do you really think anyone can waste thought on something so trivial? The only thing people want is the meager comfort that Sybil can offer them. No one even cares about righteousness.
On that point, we agree.
Mr. Kogami, I said I would stop you this time, but I failed again.
There's no way to keep the legal system in place. Everything will probably turn out like you said. But even if that's true, I believe in you because you want to do what's right. I'll have to be judged as well.
It's all such a mess.
You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
The fighting is finally over, and Sybil has obtained such knowledge. This will prove to be a great boon for us.
Homura can no longer serve and has retired. I look forward to working with the new congressman.
Under orders from Atsushi Shindo and Shogo Yabuki, the unit known as the Peacebreakers committed subversive acts against foreign powers. The concealment of these illegal operations led to the violent uprising helmed by their commander, Tsugumasa Tonami. These facts were expanded upon and confirmed in the confession that was left behind by Atsushi Shindo. Given the recent deaths of directors Shindo and Yabuki, this investigation is now considered closed.
The crimes of an entire government were pinned on 2 men.
This was the exact outcome that they desired from the beginning.
You approved the transfer of our enforcers to the Foreign Ministry, at least. I'll thank you for that.
Shinya Kogumi's return to the SAD will also be greenlit shortly.
I don't intend to make any more of a fuss moving forward.
That is unexpected.
Were you also surprised I agreed to take the role you prepared for me?
Surprised, but pleased. You will walk the same path that Atsushi Shindo traversed before you.
Right. I'm leaving the Public Safety Bureau.
It's gonna feel quiet here.
Things have to change sometimes. It'd be weirder if they didn't.
That's true. Crap! Isn't Akane's appointment ceremony starting?
To be honest with you, there's something I've been worrying about this whole time. In our society, your crime coefficient means everything. There's no room for appeal. Sybil has the final say. When we were a nation of laws, the nature of crime was something that was always being argued about and reassessed. What is crime? Is this punishment just? When you seek to understand evil, you find your own sense of justice. This case has driven something home for me. I believe the key to maintaining our humanity is the continuous debate over these ideas. I think that losing that discussion would be a grave mistake for humanity's future. We would lose who we are. Successful societies need laws. That's why I intend to question the nature of justice in a way only I can. I'm glad I got to see you again, Mr. Kogami. You were the one who helped me come to this decision.
You idiot.
Crime coefficient is under 60. Enforcement action not required. Trigger will remain locked.
Take care of Division 1, Mika.
This isn't right. I can't accept this!
The most shocking thing is that despite committing murder in front of eyewitnesses, Akane Tsunemori's crime coefficient remained remarkably low.
The suspect's crime coefficient hasn't been made public at this time, but we know that the Dominator did not activate for her.
As a result of this unprecedented incident, it's been announced that the long-expected dissolution of the Ministry of Justice will not go forward.
Akane Tsunemori, this is the decision you've chosen to make?
I won't let you abolish true law. Not just for the sake of humankind. It's the only way to protect you, the Sybil system, as well. And in the end, both Shindo and Ignatov realized that. They risked everything to protect our coexistence.
Fascinating. We will see if your actions have any effect on society, and to what degree.
I swear I'll get you out.
が消える優しさのせいで弱さが罪と言うなら答えて私は